Hello there, my very good friends. On today's wrestling news, AEW are not interested in a former WWE champion.
A big injury update on Charlotte Flair.
Bobby Lashley is teasing his future.
And wrestling fans, stop being weird. I'm Adam Wilborn.
I'm Andy Murray.
And this is the news.
Dr. Andy Murray,
Sorry,
yes. Say. Let's kick this one off by talking about Matthew Riddle.
Oh, yes.
AEW are seemingly not interested in bringing him in, at least for now. So recently, Riddle did an interview with Steven Muehlhausen of SI.
Oh, yeah.
He said he'd had a conversation with Tony Khan. I'll read this. It's in Riddle, so which is equivalent to riddles. So I talked to Tony Khan. I don't know if he likes me. He seemed happy. I wrestled Zack Sabre Jr. in Chicago. He's all over the place. He seemed cool about it. I don't know. When you meet me, I'm very sarcastic. But when I met him, I was like, oh, did you like the match? But I said it a little different way. What does that even mean? And he looked at me.
What do you think of the match, bro?
Yeah, Tony's like, what the hell is this guy? And he looked at me all confused. I said, sorry. And I was like, never mind, dude. I just walked away. So that was my experience with that. Now, Fightful have said that behind the scenes, Khan has not expressed any interest in bringing Matt Riddle to AEW, especially over the past few years. And it's been noted the AEW on the indies and stuff, AEW talent almost never works with him in Japan. And when it does happen in Japan, where did I get that from? On the indies, sorry. And when they do, it's usually in Mexico.
Right.
I just got Japanese wrestling on the brain, it seems. Riddle has confirmed that he had talks with TNA, of course, and sources are apparently hopeful that he can appear there. But yeah, he's not going to AEW, it seems, which is probably for the best, given his antics, shall we say, off screen.
Probably for the best for both parties. You know, we always talk about AEW not needing to sign anyone else. We'll talk a little bit about Bobby Lashley in due course, as you mentioned at the beginning. Look, Matt Riddle, phenomenally talented athlete, but comes with a hell of a lot of baggage, and completely understandable that A, AEW would not want to sign him, and B, they probably wouldn't want their talents wrestling him and therefore have their name associated with him.
Yeah, absolutely. The rap sheet's pretty long. Good wrestler, but 100% not worth the baggage. Definitely not. I don't really see what adding Matt Riddle to that they've got AEW has lots of really good wrestlers.
Yes.
Right? They don't need another one who comes attached with some rather unsavory things. It's kind of a miracle, actually, that he lasted that long in WWE, because he burned out the UFC as well, didn't he?
Yeah.
But then again, is upsetting Dana White really something you should hold against someone? I don't know.
I love the fact that the UFC also were like, you're smoking weed?
Yeah, what? You're banned for 12 years?
This is completely new information.
Yeah. Who's it that got banned for 5 years?
Nick Diaz. Sorry.
Nate Diaz was in Newcastle recently.
Probably smoking weed, let's be
probably.
honest.
Smoking reefer and playing FIFA.
I don't want to get into it, but Nick Diaz's suspension really winds me up, because it's like, oh, you've taken steroids and cheated your opponent
6
out of a
months.
fair fight. Fair enough, yeah, you can't fight for 6 months. Oh, that's the time it's going to take to recover anyway. You smoke some weed!
Yeah, it's absurd. Like,
that makes you a super athlete!
How does that enhance your performance? Stupid.
Didn't Nick Diaz fight whilst stoned, basically, at one point? They tested the amount in his system. Anyway, the right decision for all parties involved, I think, this. And, Matt Riddle's going to have to do a lot to gain the interest of AEW again. And, the TNA thing, it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out with their relationship with WWE nowadays.
Yeah. Interesting times.
We'll keep you posted. Anyway, let's move over to Charlotte Flair. Her name was in my mouth on Friday because I was speculating whether or not she was going to show up on the big season premiere on the USA Network, because obviously, yes, she has been injured, but she's Charlotte Flair, just because the initial reports were like she's out for the rest of the year. She's a wrestler, and someone like Charlotte Flair you could well see be coming back ahead of schedule, and she could have been one of the big surprises on that show. That didn't happen, and Fightful Select have come through with a report basically saying, yes, she is still injured, unfortunately. She'd been mentioned in creative talks potentially around the storyline with Nia Jax and Tiffany Stratton, but this injury has basically put pay to that. Understandably, they are not willing to centre creative around her while she's still out of action. Don't forget, she tore not only her ACL but her MCL and her meniscus at the end of last year. At the time, people said, well, that's 2024 completely out. But she was ahead of schedule in February, but doesn't look like she's going to be back anytime soon, and therefore no creative is going to involve her for the time being, which is a shame. She's obviously brilliant. I mean, it might be a blessing in disguise in terms of the fact she could come back just in time for that big build to WrestleMania and Netflix and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, still out of action.
Yeah, it's a real shame we couldn't get a reprisal of the classic Nia Jax match.
Yes!
Gee whiz. Rough stuff, obviously.
That was the fight pit before it was the fight pit, wasn't it?
That was a shoot, brother. Raw Underground, but Overground? I don't know. Raw Ground.
Underground, Overground, Raw, Free. I don't know.
Just what are we doing? Charlotte Flair.
Yes.
Charlotte Flair. I miss her from TV. I miss the chaotic presence.
Yes.
I miss the and all the other chaos elements that she brings. And look, in a big match where they have a license to just knock the crap out of each other, she rules.
Yeah.
Like that Rhea Ripley match, oh my god.
Yeah, I went into that Mania match going,
Yeah.
I think I went to the bar to get a drink at the start and came back and I'm like, this kicks ass.
Yeah, why are they concussing each other? What's going on? It's awesome. Rough injury. That's a pretty common one when people shred up their knee. It's all three of those muscles, and it takes a while. It takes a long time. Obviously, they're not going to rush her. She'll be getting looked after by Deferred, I'm sure. Yeah, good. We'll see her when she's ready.
And I know some fans will be rolling their eyes going, oh, Charlotte Flair. But it's not her fault she was over-pushed under the Vince regime. She's incredibly talented. I think she can play a variety of different roles. I think she's going to be hugely celebrated when she comes back. And that women's division in WWE is so exciting right now in terms of potential new matchups.
Yeah, she needs to be a heel for me.
I agree.
Like, the face stuff never works. Hasn't worked in years. And it always feels a little bit forced and against the grain. So I think she should just come back and smack whoever babyface in the face.
Yeah.
And then be a heel and be evil again.
Win the title, off Tiffany Stratton the chance to cash in, deliberately lose, win the title again and get closer to her dad's record.
Boom, there you go. Just 3 title reigns in 3 months. Why not? 3 days. You can do it. You can do it. Right. Okay. Let's talk about Bob Lashley.
Yes.
Big Robert. He's a free agent and he's going to wrestle somewhere else.
Good.
He was on his vlog, just teasing a little bit. He said, I've seen some of the articles about what I'm going to do. Is it WWE? Is it TNA? Is it AEW? I can't control any of that. But the one thing I can control is how to prepare. I'm ready for anything. Bob also recently, he was on the Bo and Them show, which is one of the best shows out there.
That's not ours.
That's not ours, obviously. Saying that he still wants to wrestle, but he also wants to do some boxing and stuff. He said, wrestling, I still want to wrestle. I love wrestling. And the fans are writing me every day saying, when are you coming back? Where are you going? I don't care where you go. We want to be there for you. So I love the fans. Love Big Bob. Love Bob.
Yeah, exactly.
He rules.
Yeah, it's funny reading that his response to all that. It makes it sound like he's just a big slob lying about. He's been in amazing shape forever.
He probably eats like 300 grams of carbs, 1 gram of fat a day.
I don't think anyone's ringing up Bobby Lashley going, are you sure you're ready? Like, are you still in shape? Look at him.
Yeah. Hey, Bobby, you need to work out a bit.
Shape for like 15, 20 years. Good to you. I always said at the time it was a weird thing that WWE let him go or that he left WWE because I think he's amazing. And, they did do a lot with him in the latter stages in terms of like championship reigns, etc., etc.
Triple H didn't.
No, he didn't. But WWE generally, have finally seen the light on what a brilliant performer he is. You sense a return is quite soon. We talked on a previous report about him wanting to do some other stuff, wrestle for some different promotions. Maybe, like you say, go back and do MMA stuff. He's got a history there as well. I sense in the end he's going to pop up in AEW. We talked just last week about the Hurt Syndicate as they're now going under. I'd love to see them in AEW. I think it'd be a really exciting thing. I know I always say, don't sign anyone else. But yet again, Bobby Lashley's the exception to that rule.
Bobby Lashley rules. I would just like to see him wrestling somewhere fresh and somewhere new. I obviously had the TNA run before going back to WWE. It was a long one. But I like seeing people in different environments, especially when you firmly associate them with somewhere else, and it's cool seeing them cross over and do different things. So, hey, I've always loved Bobby Lashley. He's been my favourite wrestler on the WWE main roster for ages. Now he's out of there. I will watch whatever he does next because I'm a fan.
And we can exclusively reveal, of course, his first match when he does go to AEW. Do you know who I actually want it to be?
Who's that?
I want Jack Perry to be like, I'll fight anyone, go on out, I'm dead. Okay.
I think they should bring Marco Stunt in for a squash, brother. Well, it's not going to be Red Velvet, is it?
No. Sorry. It could be. Ooh. Hook.
Oh, okay.
Do you want to pick an alternative to Red Velvet?
Yeah, we're not booking Red Velvet versus Bob Lashley, are we?
My money now is on you pulling out Britt Baker.
Red Velvet's a very, very good professional wrestler, but they're not even in the same division.
No.
Angelo Parker, he's not there at the moment. He's about to be a dad.
I've just come back from being a dad. I'm a bit tired. Who have I got? Oh, God, Bobby Lashley.
Oh, cheesy peeps.
Right, final news story for this morning. At least we've got an after news coming away later on today. Beep, 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 beep. Newsflash. Wrestling fans, stop being weird.
Yes, get out of the airport.
This is CM Punk ranting on social media, but for good reason.
Yeah.
He posted on his Instagram a text post that I'm sure is echoed by almost all wrestlers. He writes, "Hey guys, love you all, but friendly reminder to respect privacy and boundaries. Airports are not a meet and greet. If I have to ask you to please stop following me multiple times, you've crossed the line. Please stop this, thank you, and stop using your children as a shield or an excuse." Whenever I hear these reports, and it's not just CM Punk, it's all wrestlers. You know, I've been lucky enough to be in the vicinity of wrestlers in a professional capacity and a non-professional capacity. You just have to judge it, and yeah, they are in the airport because they have to be in the airport because they have to go places. And you know how stressed you get when you go on your family holiday? Oh, I've got my bag, I've got my passport, which gate am I in? Like, they live that on a daily basis. They don't need you and 20 other people shoving stuff under their nose. Sign this, can I have a picture? Just, as he said, just respect boundaries. Come on, guys.
Yeah, leave him be. Like, I don't know how many decades of wrestlers not wanting to be bothered in airports we have to go through before people finally get the picture. Like, it's a place they don't want to be bothered.
Yeah.
They're probably on their way to work, or they've just worked and
knackered.
they're tired.
Yeah.
Yeah. They just want to get on the plane, put their headphones on, and sleep.
Or
and
play
then,
their little I love the ones who travel with a console.
Oh yeah, like a whole ass TV.
AJ Styles. Yes.
Bring that over. Yeah, leave people alone.
The thing is, they're fine with taking pictures, aren't they? This is the thing. You never hear someone saying, "Oh, so-and-so refused to take a picture with my child." CM Punk, all of them do this. It's just like, okay, you know, when we see people out and about, we might go up and ask a wrestler, "Hi, sorry, do you mind if we get a photo?"
Hello.
But
Yeah.
you then don't just go,
I'm gonna follow you.
"What's in your booking? Huh? What's going on?
Yeah.
You got any scoops for us?"
Where you going for lunch? Can I come?
Yeah.
Now that we're friends.
Boundaries, and yeah, the using the kids thing is it's just because he doesn't want to. You know, you don't want to. Whoever you are, you don't want to seem like, "Go away, small child. I want to ruin your evening." But also saying, "Look, there's my kid, and now can you sign 20 things that I can flog on eBay or whatever?"
It's unfair. It's totally unfair. Just let people have their privacy, man.
Someone approached Michael Sidgwick in the toilets at Wembley. He was washing his hands. He got the proper Randy Orton treatment.
What's up, brother?
Sid was great with it, to be fair. It was lovely meeting people.
Hopefully he got rid of whatever was on this.
1 second.
Yeah. Excuse me, mate. Yeah, that's okay.
Stop being weird, wrestling fans. It's really easy.
Yeah, get out of the airport.
You know, we walked.
Get on your plane.
We were walking around Wembo the day before All In, and we went, "Oh look, there's Juice Robinson."
Yeah.
And that was it. And you can believe that story or not, it happened, but we don't need photographic evidence of it.
Yeah. Just go, "Hey, CM Punk, like your work."
Yeah.
And off you go. That's all you need. That's all you need. So I know it's CM Punk and he's a bit bristly.
Yeah.
But like, come
He's
on.
generally all right with these
He's
sort of things.
entitled to his privacy.
Do you know what else you need though?
This video. Bye.
Back with the after news later.
Yep.